Hey friends, welcome to episode 10 of Talk with Tati. Can't believe I've actually filmed 10 episodes so far. I'm so excited. I'm feeling inspired today, and I just wanted to kind of go into my weight loss journey and how I've done that without doing crazy fads, no keto, no calorie restrictions, nothing crazy, just a little moderation and a little modifying of my diet. I do have bad news for you though. Part of losing weight, at least for me, has been cutting out fast food, eating out at restaurants. In fact, the last few days I've been eating out. I went out with somebody on a Friday night, and I got dinner with a friend yesterday, and then I'm getting dinner today. And I actually, like, when you stop eating all those foods and you stop eating fast food and other people's cookings, when you start doing it again, you can really feel the difference. And I feel like absolute crap. So if you're wondering why I'm a little quiet and not as excited as usual, it's because I feel like crap from all the eating out I've done the last few days. But yep, so you gotta cut out the McDonald's, gotta cut out the Braum's, whatever fast food, even the restaurant cooking, unfortunately, you have to keep it in moderation. I'm not saying I don't eat out at all, because obviously I just told you I do, but you have to really limit it as little as possible, as little as you possibly. That is the good news about the video I'm going to tell you about, or the things I'm going to talk about in this video today, is you don't have to completely cut out stuff just because you slip up and you go get McDonald's for dinner one day. You don't feel like you're cooking. That is perfectly fine. You will still be able to lose weight, and you will still be on a better road to health, even if you slip up every once in a while. For me, I have PCOS. I've talked about that. If you want me to go a little bit more into it, I do have a video on that I'd love for you to watch. But I have PCOS, and it causes me issues with my hormones. And sugar is one of those things that I love, but I absolutely have to not deal with. Like, I still have sugar every now and then. I'll eat chocolate every now and then. I've had a lot of that lately too, and that's probably why I don't feel very great. But you know, you just have to moderate. So I don't keep Oreos, cookies, chocolate. I just don't keep those things in the house because I know I'll be tempted. But cutting those out has been extremely helpful for me, not only for my weight loss, but for my mood, my skin, my periods. Like, it's really helpful when you stop eating all the processed sugars. So biggest thing, cutting out those sugars, not completely cutting them out, let's say cutting down the sugars. So we're not cutting it out, we're just cutting it down. So if that milkshake you want, don't do it. You need to try to find a healthier substitute. Like, an apple has natural sugars, fruits have natural sugars, and I know it doesn't sound that good, but when you actually start doing it and you get your body used to it and off of the processed foods and the processed sugars, it'll be a lot easier. It's easier said than done in the beginning, but I promise you it does get easy when you get used to it. Another big thing, so you know, you're cutting out the fast food, the restaurant eating, you're cutting out your sugars. This next thing, my next tip for you, doesn't necessarily involve cutting out things. It just includes balancing your diet. I am not a fan of the keto diet because the keto diet is, I feel like, restrictive. It's like low carbs and high fat or high protein, something like that. And it's like, I feel like you'll find better weight loss and consistent weight loss if you're doing it a natural way and a attainable way. Because to me, like, yeah, you can do the keto diet for so long, but once you stop, you're just gonna gain all that weight back. But by balancing your meals, you do that lifelong and you're good. It's not something that's horrible to do. It's not hard to do at all. I did it, and a year ago, did not like eating veggies. I didn't really eat fruits. I ate a lot of fast food. It's kind of bad to think about, but I'm gonna be honest, that's how I was prior to April. All kinds of other things like the Atkins diets. There's all kinds of crazy diets, but the best thing you can do to lose weight, be healthier, and keep off weight is by balancing your plate. So what I mean is, you need a protein, you need a non-starchy vegetable, and you need a carb on your plate. Kind of interchange carb with dairy. It just depends on your diet. For me personally, I prefer not to eat dairy because I feel like the hormones in the cows and stuff and the milk affects PCOS for me, and it causes my already off balance hormones to be worse. So I'm not really into dairy. I don't drink milk or anything really anymore, but interchangeable, so you can do carbs, dairy, but the main thing, you need to have your protein, so chicken, beef, pork, whatever your protein is, and then you will have your vegetable, non-starchy, so your greens pretty much. But you do have to be careful and kind of research that a little bit, because some of your greens can be kind of high in starch. But your green beans, anything like that, peas, stuff like that, just your veggies. And then you can have your dairy, so yogurt, cheese. But as I said, I don't consume dairy really like that anymore. So I will usually have something like, I'll make chicken, I'll make green beans or broccoli, corn, something like that. And then I will have either a croissant for my carb, I'll make mashed potatoes, a loaded baked potato, macaroni, but it's just I have one of each. So I've got my protein, I've got my carb, and I've got, being honest, going into it, I did not think I was gonna lose weight, but I was like, you know, I have nothing to lose, I might as well try it. It's called the pick your plate method. I'll show you guys a little chart here in a little bit, but that is what I went based off of, and it actually really did help me. Like I said, I started out at the beginning of this year, I think at like 255. By the time I finished that 8-week program, I was down to 232. I last weighed in this past Thursday, and I'm down to 228. So I'm dropping the weight. It's not like super fast like with the keto, but that's okay, because you don't want to drop weight super fast. You want it to be safe, healthy, and obtainable and sustainable. It needs to be something you can consistently do. I want to put emphasis on sustainable, because the best way to lose weight and keep the weight off is to make sure what you're doing is something that's sustainable and obtainable. You don't want to calorie restrict, because you can do it for so long, but the issue with doing calorie restriction and even food restriction is I feel like you have more of a chance of binging on those things. So if you allow yourself to have stuff in little doses, like some chocolate here and there, maybe twice a week, versus not at all, you're less tempted, and then you kind of get that craving satisfied. And then you can have something like an apple the other days, just a natural sugar to go in its place. But like I said, you don't want to cut things out completely, because it makes it more tempting, and it makes it more likely that you're going to go overboard and just not stop. And like I said, I wish that I could be vegan, or I could afford to be a pescatarian or something like that, because ultimately those kind of things would definitely help as well, but I can't afford that, so it's not obtainable. And I like eating meat, so that's not sustainable either. So I just make sure, like I said, my meals are balanced. So another thing you could do, sometimes I'll make steak, broccoli, and macaroni. Just remember, you need your protein, because you know that protein is what you need to energize your body. You need your veggie, and then you need your starch or your dairy. So I'm going to keep repeating that so you remember: protein, starch or dairy, vegetables on your plate. Also, I want to make note of, I know I said it was like, you know, you have one of each. You don't necessarily have to have one of each. You could do one of your protein, you could do 2 of your vegetables, you could do 3 of your dairy. So you could do like a dairy, a wheat, and a grain, and that would be perfect as well. So it's not necessarily like point A, point B, point C. Like, you can modify it, you can personalize it. There's so many things you can do and still lose weight. Let's be real, I like to eat. I love seafood boils, and I know seafood boils are not necessarily balanced. I know you get some corn, some potato, and an egg. That's still not necessarily the healthiest, but you know, moderation on those as well. But you can still mix and match, you can customize, you can personalize, make it to where you can do it and it's good for you, because I promise you'll still lose weight even if you're not strict about it. And I don't want to encourage you to be strict on yourself, because when you're strict about weight loss, you tend to focus on negative things and you tend to hate your body, and it needs to be a positive experience. You need to love your body, you need to love what you're eating, and make sure you're healthy and your mindset is healthy in doing so. A little bit more on the veggies, because I had mentioned it's the vegetables, they're non-starchy, but it didn't really go into detail with that, and that was something that I didn't really know how to do because I just really ate green beans and corns. I didn't eat Brussels sprouts and broccoli and all that crazy stuff, and I really didn't know what else I could do because you don't want to eat the same things over and over, but you have a variety of options. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm referencing a list because I can't remember all that, and even if I could, my brain is too spacey sometimes. But you've got onions, cabbage, green peppers, bell peppers. You could do mixed greens, carrots, tomatoes, cucumbers, squash, asparagus, okra, mushrooms. I mean, you can do all kinds of things with your vegetables. You can lightly season them, you can cook them to your taste, mix them in with something. You know, there's so many different options. And it's crazy because prior to doing this health program, I thought to myself, like, I can't afford to eat healthy. There's no way I'm gonna lose weight. I don't always wanna cook. I have to be able to eat fast food. I want to be able to go out with friends and stuff still, but you can still do those things and still don't spend a ton of money on my groceries. I mean, food's expensive and is inflated, so I do spend a lot compared to what I used to, but compared to all the junk and stuff and the processed foods, I don't buy chips, I don't buy granola bars, I don't buy snack cakes, I don't buy any of that stuff. I just mostly buy my meats, my fruits, my vegetables, maybe some macaroni, some rice, just stuff like that. I don't buy like the soda. I don't drink soda anymore. I don't even really buy lemonade because I love lemonade, but it still has a lot of sugar and I'll be tempted. So I just try to drink water as much as possible. I do let myself have a lemonade every now and then because, like I said, you cannot restrict. You just need to moderate because restricting leads to bad things, and you don't want to backtrack on your progress because you had unrealistic standards. I'll definitely go look around and try to find the website. I'm sure I can find it, like the whole pick your plate method and the pictures so you can print out and have it for reference. Okay, well, I guess you don't necessarily have to print, but me, I'm a very visual person, so I like to have references. Like I've got this little, it's a little chart. Okay, so make sure it was upside down with all the foods on it, and then the back of it is just like the pick your plate, so you know the portion size, which I forgot to tell you guys the portion size. I can't speak. Like I said, I don't feel the greatest, and even if I did, I probably still wouldn't be able to speak. But you've got your portions, so this is your plate, and typically I believe it's like an 8-inch plate that you want to use. But you have the top half of your plate that's your veggies, and then you have the fourth that is your proteins, and then you have the other fourth of your plate, which is the carbs, your starches, your dairy. So you just want to make sure you have a healthy balance of those things. And then you can even have a side of like milk on the side as a dairy. You can have some yogurt for dessert as your dairy. You can just kind of mix and match and play with it. It's just important to have that balance. Just remember that top half of your plate is your veggies, bottom fourth of it is your is your protein, and then the other side is like your grains, your dairies, your starches. So just having that balance is definitely helpful. And another thing that I learned that really helps me, if you're still hungry, eat. Do not restrict yourself. If you're not being filled up by what you're eating, you need to eat more. Everybody's body's different. Your body tells you what it needs. If your body's telling you it's hungry, you need to eat. Also, another thing, make sure you're staying hydrated and drinking plenty of water, especially in the hotter days or the hotter months, because sometimes if you are dehydrated, your body can mistake it for hunger and vice versa. So make sure you're getting your water in, make sure you're balancing everything. And that honestly is everything I've been doing. Of course, I go to the gym and work out, but I wasn't doing the diet, so I wasn't losing. You have to have your diet right to be able to lose weight, unfortunately. These weight loss fads and trends, unfortunately, if you see results, you're probably not going to keep them. Like the keto, I know some people have good results. I'm sorry if you do the keto and it works for you, but for me personally, it's not for me. I don't think it's sustainable or obtainable. But like the Atkins diet, the hydroxycut supplements that I always see on TV, like diet pills, they don't work. What works is eating healthy, balancing your meals, not restricting, and working out, having that physical activity. You just want to make sure whatever you choose to do to lose weight is healthy, because you can put off a lot of weight by not eating correctly, but once you start eating what your body needs, you're going to gain it right back. And that's why I want to emphasize the easiest way, in my opinion, to do it is the slow and steady way. They always say slow and steady wins the race, and that's the truth, because I've lost, like, I don't know, close to 30 pounds at this point is what I'm coming up to. And it's insane because I didn't think I was gonna lose. When I started the program, I was like, there's no way. I've been in the gym for months. I've been in the gym over a year and I'm not losing. But it was my diet, because I was going to the gym, but I'd go get McDonald's, I'd go get some chicken strips and a milkshake every day, like just crazy stuff. And your body cannot handle that. Our bodies are not made to be able to eat like that all the time. But yeah, this was kind of a quick video. I hope it puts some things in a perspective and it will help you to move forward. If you need more detail, I can go into it deeper. I just wanted to keep things a little on the shorter side and not hold up people on their Sunday. But I just am so happy about my weight loss. Another thing that I've been doing, and then I'll wrap it up, another thing that I've been doing is how I count my weight loss. I break it down in 10. I do have an ultimate goal weight, but I don't fixate on that ultimate goal. I break it down into like the 10s. So my first goal, get out of the 250s, got out of the 250s, 240s, 230s. I'm in the 220s. Now my goal is to get out of the 220s. Ultimately, I think an ideal weight for me that I'd be satisfied at is 180, because I feel like I don't want to fixate too much and be unrealistic. I'm getting older. As you get older, it's harder to lose weight. I'm about to start grad school, so I'm about to be under a lot of stress again. But, you know, I just feel like breaking things down into smaller goals to get you to your big goal is the best way to be successful. It's helped me. And yeah, so I just wanted to share and let everybody know. Hope everybody's having a happy Saturday. It's definitely Sunday. Hope everybody's having a happy Sunday. Thank you so much for being here with me today, and have a great rest of your weekend.